Welcome back, coin lovers, collectors, treasure hunters, and everyone curious about that pocket change you've probably ignored for years. This is Penny Vault, and today, we're diving deep into one of the most fascinating stories in American coin history. Get ready to be amazed because a simple Lincoln penny from 1982, yes, just 1 cent, has been valued at a jaw-dropping $280,000 on the collector's market. Sounds unbelievable, right? But as you'll see, there's a twist in the tale of this ordinary-looking coin that makes it anything but ordinary. So stick around, because if you've ever thought, it's just a penny, this video might just change your life. Let's uncover the mystery, history, errors, and money behind the 1982 Lincoln penny. Let's rewind the clock. The year is 1982. Michael Jackson's Thriller is about to become the best-selling album of all time. The E.T. movie is capturing hearts across the world. And over at the United States Mint, a quiet revolution is taking place, one that would change American coinage forever. For over 2 decades, since 1962, the Lincoln cent had been made from 95% copper and 5% zinc. But copper was becoming expensive. Inflation was creeping up. The cost of making a penny was approaching, and in some cases exceeding, its face value. So the U.S. Mint made a monumental decision, to change the composition of the Lincoln penny. This was no small deal. In 1982, the U.S. Mint officially transitioned the Lincoln penny from a copper-based composition to a zinc-based core with a thin copper plating. The new pennies would be made of 97.5% zinc and 2.5% copper. Why zinc? It was significantly cheaper, easier to source, and reduced the cost of production dramatically. But here's the kicker, both types of coins were produced during the same year. That means some 1982 pennies are made from the original copper alloy, while others are made from the new zinc composition. And to complicate matters even more, there were 7 different varieties of the 1982 Lincoln cent. Let me break it down. There were 1. 1982 large date copper 2. 1982 large date zinc 3. 1982 small date copper 4. 1982 small date zinc 5. 1982 D large date copper 6. 1982 D large date zinc 7. 1982 D small date zinc. Wait, did you catch that? Only 6 of these were supposed to exist officially. But a 7th coin, the 1982 D small date copper penny somehow slipped through the cracks. That's the holy grail. This coin wasn't supposed to exist. The Denver Mint was only scheduled to produce zinc small date pennies, not copper. But incredibly, a small number of 1982 D small date pennies were struck using copper planchets, either by accident or mint oversight. In the world of numismatics, this is called a transition error. And because these rare error coins weren't documented, collectors didn't even know they existed for years. But when they started to surface, the frenzy began. And the value? Get ready. One verified example of the 1982 D small date copper penny was sold in a private sale for a staggering $18,000. Since then, experts and collectors have speculated that a flawless mint state version, especially one graded MS 68 or higher, could easily reach up to $280,000 or more at auction. Yes, you heard that right. 1 penny. $280,000 So why are these pennies so valuable? It's a combination of rarity, historical significance, and collector demand. You see, the 1982 coin is a representation of a historic transition in U.S. coinage. The fact that multiple compositions and date sizes were used in one year adds a layer of complexity. But the discovery of the 1982 D small date copper throws a wrench into the official records. It's a minting mystery. How did it get made, and how many are still out there? Now, let's talk mint marks for a moment. The Philadelphia Mint didn't use a mint mark on pennies in 1982. The Denver Mint used a D. So if you find a 1982 penny with a D under the date, it came from the Denver Mint. But here's what you need to look for. Identify if it's a small date. That's where things get tricky. The differences between large date and small date are subtle. You'll have to examine the shapes and sizes of the numbers, especially the 2 and the 8, test the metal composition. Copper pennies weigh 3.11 grams, while the zinc versions weigh only 2.5 grams. You can use a digital scale accurate to the hundredth of a gram to check. If your 1982 small date penny weighs 3.11 grams, congratulations, you might be holding a potential six-figure coin, but the 1982 mystery doesn't stop there. Even regular 1982 pennies in high mint state condition, especially those with red luster, can fetch impressive amounts. An MS-67 1982 small date copper penny sold for over $10,000 in auction. A 1982 large date zinc penny graded MS-68 RD sold for over $3,000. The lesson here? Condition matters. If you have a 1982 penny in pristine condition, especially if it hasn't circulated, it could be worth far more than face value. Now, let's imagine something together. You're sitting on your couch, maybe flipping through old coin jars, or emptying that box of childhood keepsakes, and there it is, a 1982 Lincoln penny. Could it be the rare one? Is it copper? Small date? Your hands tremble a little as you place it on a scale, *** 3.11 grams, *** your heart skips a beat. You grab a magnifying glass and inspect the date. Small date confirmed. You're now holding a piece of history, potentially worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. That's the magic of coin collecting. That's the thrill. And that's why we at Penny Vault are so passionate about bringing you these stories, because hidden treasures aren't just buried in pirate chests, they're sitting in your kitchen drawers, hiding in your coin jars, and clinking around in your pockets. So what should you do if you find a 1982 penny that fits this rare profile? First, don't clean it. Cleaning a coin can ruin its value. Second, take it to a reputable coin dealer or submit it for grading through services like PCGS or NGC. And third, research. Knowledge is power. The more you learn about coins, the better your chances of spotting a rare one. The 1982 Lincoln penny is more than just currency. It's a chapter in American monetary history. It's a symbol of economic change. And in some rare cases, it's a life-changing discovery. Let's take a quick look at the current market landscape. As of today, 1982 small date copper pennies that are verified by professionals remain exceptionally rare, with only a couple ever confirmed. But 1982 pennies in general are increasing in value across the board, especially high-grade copper versions and rare zinc errors. This is a hot niche in the coin world right now, and interest continues to rise. Collectors around the world are keeping an eye on every 1982 penny they see. Coin shows feature them. Dealers prize them. And now, maybe, so will you. So the next time you get change from the store or open that old coin jar, don't dismiss the pennies. Among them might be a small, forgotten piece of metal with a big story, and an even bigger payday. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like, share, and subscribe to Penny Vault for more unbelievable stories from the world of coins. Tell us in the comments, have you checked your 1982 pennies yet? You never know what you might find, and remember, every penny has a story. Some are worth 1 cent. But others? They're worth a fortune. Stay curious. Stay searching. And as always, happy collecting. Rarest and most valuable coins. If you've ever had a penny slip through your fingers without a second glance, you might want to start checking your pocket change very carefully. Because today, we're diving into the captivating story of a coin so common in appearance, yet so extraordinarily rare in value, that it could change someone's life overnight. That's right, we're talking about the 1975 Lincoln penny, a coin whose face value is just 1 cent, but whose current market value is an astonishing $32 million. Yes, you heard that right, a single 1 cent coin from 1975 is now worth $32 million. Get ready, because this is a story you won't want to miss. Now, before we begin, take a moment to like, subscribe, and turn on that notification bell so you never miss out on the incredible stories of coins you might already have in your collection. Alright, let's unlock the secrets of the 1975 Lincoln penny. Let's rewind the clock back to the year 1975. The United States was going through a major period of cultural and economic transformation. The Vietnam War had just ended, the nation was celebrating its bicentennial preparations, and inflation was hitting hard. Amidst all these changes, millions of coins were being minted every single day by the United States Mint. The Lincoln penny, already in circulation since 1909 to honor President Abraham Lincoln's 100th birthday, was one of the most frequently produced coins in American history. In 1975, 3 U.S. mint locations were producing Lincoln pennies: the Philadelphia Mint, the Denver Mint, and the San Francisco Mint. Each mint produced pennies in different quantities and often with distinct characteristics. Most of these coins are still common today, easily found in penny jars and old coin books. But every now and then, the minting process would produce something unexpected. A misalignment here, a double die there, or a mysterious planchet error could result in a coin that is 1 in a billion. And that's exactly what happened with this particular 1975 Lincoln penny. So what makes one of these 1975 Lincoln pennies worth $32 million? To understand that, we need to take a deep look into its mint mark, metal composition, and most importantly, its errors, the silent factors that determine a coin's hidden fortune. First, the mint mark. Most 1975 pennies were minted in Philadelphia and Denver, with Denver pennies bearing a small d under the date. But one ultra-rare version of this coin features a missing mint mark, or in some cases, a rare minting variation that experts believe may have been struck on the wrong planchet or during a transitional error. These coins are extremely rare and could have been the result of a mint worker's accidental use of leftover blanks from a different metal batch. When these oddities occur, they're rarely caught in time, and only a few coins like this escape into circulation. Years later, a coin collector or even an unsuspecting citizen finds one and history is made. Now here's the jaw-dropping part. One 1975 Lincoln penny was discovered to have unusual die cracks, along with an off-center strike and a rare double die obverse, where the details on Lincoln's face and the word "Liberty" appear doubled. This made the coin a trifecta of errors, a collector's dream. It was graded by a leading coin grading service and later sold at a private auction for an unbelievable $32 million. That sale sent shockwaves through the numismatic world and instantly made this coin a legend, but it's not just the errors that make this penny so valuable. The condition of the coin plays a huge role too. The ultra-rare penny we're talking about was in near-perfect condition, graded MS 68 red, meaning it had almost no wear and retained its full original copper color. It looked like it had just left the mint, even after decades. That preservation and color intensity pushed the value even higher. Here's something else you may not know. In 1975, the Lincoln penny was still made of 95% copper and 5% zinc, giving it a weight of 3.11 grams. This composition would change just a few years later in 1982 when the mint shifted to copper-plated zinc pennies due to rising metal prices. This means all 1975 pennies were among the last in the original solid copper era, another factor boosting their collector appeal today. Now, combine this with an ultra-rare error, a perfect mint state, and a possible missing or misapplied mint mark, and you get a coin that collectors would fight over at any cost. Many experts believe that only 1 or 2 of these extraordinary 1975 pennies exist in such a rare form. That's why collectors from all over the world are hunting tirelessly, combing through old coin rolls, estate sales, and inherited collections in hopes of uncovering another multimillion-dollar treasure. Now, let's talk about how you can spot a valuable 1975 penny in your own collection. First, check the mint mark. Does it look odd, missing, or partially stamped? Next, examine the lettering under magnification. Look closely at the word "Liberty," the motto, "In God We Trust," and the date, 1975. If any of these appear doubled, distorted, or misaligned, you might be looking at a double die variety. Next, weigh the coin. A standard 1975 penny should weigh about 3.11 grams. If it's significantly heavier or lighter, it could be struck on the wrong planchet, a telltale sign of a minting error. And finally, inspect the edges for any unusual cracks, rim clips, or off-center strikes. Even if your 1975 penny doesn't carry all three of these super rare traits, some varieties still sell for hundreds or even thousands of dollars. A nicely preserved MS-65 or MS-66 penny from that year can go for $100 to $250, and double-die varieties can range into the tens of thousands. But the holy grail is the one we mentioned, the elusive $32 million version that broke all expectations and became one of the most expensive 1-cent coins ever recorded. You might be wondering, why would someone pay $32 million for a penny? The answer lies in the world of numismatics, where rarity, history, condition, and demand intersect to form staggering prices. Wealthy collectors often view coins not just as pieces of currency, but as historical artifacts and investment vehicles. The rarer and more storied the coin, the higher its potential value. Owning such a coin gives collectors bragging rights, prestige, and the satisfaction of preserving a piece of American history that can only be matched by a few in the world. Now imagine this: you're sorting through an old drawer, maybe cleaning out your grandparents' attic, and you stumble upon a shiny old penny dated 1975. You flip it over, look at the details, and something about it seems off. Maybe the mint mark is missing. Maybe the lettering looks a bit odd. Maybe the color is more vibrant than usual. What if, without knowing it, you're holding a coin that could sell for millions? It's not impossible. That's the thrill of coin collecting. That's the magic of pennies like the 1975 Lincoln cent. A coin meant for everyday transactions, quietly carrying the face of Abraham Lincoln, might just be the key to unimaginable fortune. So if you haven't checked your penny jar lately, it's time. You never know what kind of history and wealth might be hiding in plain sight. The next legendary coin could be waiting for you to find it. Thanks for watching Penny Vault. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the story of the 1975 Lincoln penny, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe for more jaw-dropping coin discoveries, and share this video with your fellow treasure hunters. Let us know in the comments if you've ever come across a rare penny, or if you're now inspired to start checking your change more closely. Until next time, keep hunting, keep learning, and remember, sometimes, 1 cent is all it takes to become a millionaire. Today, you might want to take a very close look, because that plain-looking penny from 1983, the one with a small D mint mark under the date, could actually be worth more than a Ferrari or a luxury home. Yes, you heard that right. We're about to unravel the fascinating journey of the 1983 D Lincoln penny, a coin that's shocked collectors and experts alike by selling for a jaw-dropping $430,000, and climbing in value as we speak. Grab a seat, grab your coin jar, and let's dive into a story filled with mystery, history, rare mint errors, and a market frenzy that's turning ordinary pennies into millionaire dreams. The year was 1983. Ronald Reagan was president, Michael Jackson's was topping charts, and the U.S. Mint was producing billions of pennies as usual. But something unique was happening in the shadows of the Denver Mint. Among the flood of ordinary 1983 D pennies came a handful that would go on to defy the rules of minting, metal composition, and coin design, making them among the most sought-after and talked-about coins in American numismatic history. To understand the full magnitude of this coin's value, let's go back just a year earlier, 1982, a landmark year in U.S. coinage. Before that, Lincoln pennies were made primarily of 95% copper, a metal that had become too expensive for the U.S. Mint to keep using in such small denominations. So in 1982, the Mint made a huge decision. It switched from copper to zinc cores coated with a thin layer of copper, reducing production costs dramatically. Here's where it gets fascinating. The 1983 D penny should have been made entirely in zinc with copper plating. Copper planchets, the blank discs used to strike coins, were no longer supposed to exist by 1983. But for reasons still debated by experts to this day, a small number of copper planchets left over from 1982 somehow made it into the Denver Mint's 1983 production line. And those planchets were struck with the 1983 D dies. What does that mean? it means that a very small number of 1983 D pennies were accidentally struck using copper, making them extremely rare error coins. To the naked eye, they might look like any other penny. But their metal composition, their very DNA, is different. And that difference has made all the difference in value. In 2013, a coin expert named Mike Byers stunned the numismatic world by revealing the existence of a 1983 D Lincoln penny struck on a copper planchet. This wasn't just a rumor or a guess. It was scientifically tested, weighed, and verified. A regular 1983 D penny made of zinc weighs about 2.5 grams. The copper version weighs about 3.1 grams, a subtle but critical difference. This error was so significant that it turned this penny into a treasure. Auction houses began buzzing. Collectors were stunned. Some believed the coin was a one-time fluke, but over time, a few more examples were discovered, each verified by top coin grading agencies. The mystery deepened. Was this a mint mistake? Was it intentional? Was it a leftover planchet from 1982 that got mixed in? Regardless of the cause, the result was clear. Each verified 1983 D copper penny became a six-figure gem. One of these rare beauties fetched over $17,000 in a private sale. Another sold for $18,000 at auction. But then came the shockwave. A high-grade example, perfectly preserved, with crystal-clear copper surfaces and verified authenticity, was sold for more than $430,000. That's $430,000 for a single penny, a 1-cent coin now worth more than $500,000 in today's private market value. So why is it worth so much? It comes down to three powerful factors: rarity, error, and demand. The rarity. These 1983 D copper pennies are not supposed to exist. The U.S. Mint confirmed that all 1983 pennies should have been made from zinc. The few that slipped through in copper are now mystical ghosts in the coin world, hunted by collectors who would pay any price to own one. The error. Coin errors are like typos in historical documents. They make the item unique, collectible, and valuable. In the case of the 1983 D penny, the error is not a double die or a missing mint mark. It's something deeper, an error in the coin's very foundation, its metal. That kind of error is ultra-rare, and almost impossible to fake. And perhaps most importantly, the demand. Coin collectors are passionate. Some spend years, even decades, chasing one rare coin to complete their sets. And when a penny like the 1983 D copper version shows up, collectors compete fiercely. That's what drives the price sky high. Now let's talk about what this means for you. You might be thinking, how can I tell if I have a valuable 1983 D penny? The answer is, check the weight. Grab a sensitive digital scale. A regular zinc penny from 1983 weighs 2.5 grams. But if your penny weighs around 3.1 grams, you may be holding something very special. It's not guaranteed, it needs to be verified by professionals, but that's your first clue. Also, look for sharp detail and minimal wear, especially if it's been kept in a coin album, a drawer, or a safe place. Next, send your coin to a trusted grading company like PCGS or NGC. If they confirm it's copper, and assign it a high grade, you're sitting on a fortune, potentially hundreds of thousands of dollars. Imagine turning a single penny into a house, a luxury car, or a retirement fund. Let's zoom out for a moment. The Lincoln penny has been in production since 1909, and it's seen many changes, from the famous 1909 SVDB, to the steel pennies of 1943, to rare double dies and off-metal strikes. But few stories are as compelling as that of the 1983 D copper penny, a mistake that became a masterpiece. It's a reminder that every coin has a story, and sometimes, the most unassuming piece of change can be a ticket to life-changing wealth. It also teaches us to pay attention, to look closely, and to never underestimate the value of what we hold in our hands. Today, the 1983 D Lincoln penny in copper is considered a legend in coin collecting circles. It appears in numismatic journals, auction catalogs, and wish lists across the country. With only a tiny handful known to exist, its value is only going up. In fact, some experts estimate that a top-graded version of this coin could break the $1 million mark in the future. That's the power of history, error, and rarity colliding in one small coin. So, before you spend that change or toss that penny aside, take another look that you might just be holding the next six-figure treasure. And if you've enjoyed this incredible story, make sure to like, subscribe, and tap the notification bell, because here at Penny Vault, we uncover the hidden fortune in everyday coins. Whether it's a penny, a nickel, or a dime, there's always a story waiting to be told. Have a 1983 D penny? We'd love to hear your story in the comments. Thanks for watching. Value and history hidden in the tiniest treasures of American currency. If you've ever glanced at your pocket change and wondered whether that penny you just dropped might be worth more than a luxury car, a diamond ring, or even a house, then you're in the right place. Because today, we're diving deep into one of the most unbelievable stories in numismatic history, the astonishing 2006 Lincoln 1-cent coin that's worth a jaw-dropping $500,000. Yes, you heard that right, $500,000 for a modern penny that many people simply toss in a jar or leave in their car's cup holder. Get ready, because by the end of this video, you might just find yourself searching through every jar, drawer, and couch cushion you have, hunting for a hidden treasure that could change your life. The story of the 2006 Lincoln penny might seem ordinary at first glance. After all, how could a penny minted in the 21st century be worth hundreds of thousands of dollars? But as we'll uncover, this isn't just any coin. It's a symbol of rarity, error, minting secrets, and collector passion that pushed its market value to unimaginable levels. To understand the true value of the 2006 penny, we must first rewind a bit and explore the origins of the Lincoln cent itself. The Lincoln 1-cent coin was first introduced in 1909 to honor the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. It was the first time a real person, and a president, no less, was featured on an American coin. The original design by Victor David Brenner was revolutionary and received widespread attention. Over the decades, small modifications were made, but the Lincoln portrait has stood the test of time, gracing the obverse side of the penny for well over a century. Fast forward to the year 2006. The United States Mint continued producing billions of pennies each year, most of them seemingly identical, small copper-plated zinc coins with the familiar Lincoln profile on the front and the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse. But in the numismatic world, no 2 years are ever quite the same. And in 2006, something unexpected happened. From the Philadelphia and Denver mints came standard issues of the penny. However, some ultra-rare varieties slipped through the cracks, coins that should never have existed in their current form. These coins caught the attention of expert collectors, not because of their ordinary face value, but because of unusual characteristics and minting anomalies. The 2006 penny that made headlines and commands a market value of $500,000 is believed to be a product of a rare combination of multiple minting errors, including double die obverse features, off-center striking, and extremely low mintage with distinct anomalies in the mint mark. Some even speculate the presence of a rare no-mint mark error, something extremely rare in modern coins. Others show strong doubling in the words, "In God We Trust," and "Liberty," on the obverse, causing the characters to appear bold, distorted, and eye-catchingly flawed. Such errors are a gift for collectors, a glitch in the minting system that turns a common coin into a national treasure. Additionally, a few pieces from the Denver Mint have been found with die cracks and cud breaks, minting flaws that occur when a die begins to wear or break during the production process. These cracks result in raised lines or blobs of metal on the coin's surface. While many of these might go unnoticed by the average person, for the trained eyes of a numismatist, they represent rare and valuable flaws, the kind of details that can boost a coin's worth from 1 cent to $500,000. But how rare are these 2006 era pennies? According to expert estimates, there may be only a handful of these rare 2006 Lincoln cents in existence. With coin production in the billions, this minuscule fraction makes these coins ultra-rare. And in the world of coin collecting, rarity is the golden rule. The rarer the item, the more desirable it becomes. Combine that with visible errors and excellent condition, and you've got a coin that collectors are willing to spend hundreds of thousands of dollars to own. Let's talk about market value. In the past few years, collectors have seen tremendous growth in the market for rare coins. The value of unique and error-filled pennies has skyrocketed. One of these 2006 Lincoln cents, graded in pristine condition by top authentication services like PCGS or NGC, reportedly sold at a private auction for $500,000. Imagine a single cent transforming into $500,000 because of a flaw no one intended. It's not just the price that amazes people, but the story behind these coins. A small mistake, a misaligned die, an incorrect mint mark, all these small factors can turn an everyday object into a legendary artifact. So, how can you tell if you have one of these golden needles in the haystack? Here's what you should look for in your 2006 Lincoln pennies. Check the mint mark ***. Most pennies from Philadelphia will have no mint mark, while Denver ones will show a small D. If you find inconsistencies, strange shapes, or doubling in or around the mint mark, your coin might be one of the rare errors. Inspect for doubling ***. Use a magnifying glass to carefully observe the words, "In God We Trust, Liberty," and the date, 2006. If the letters or numbers appear to have shadows or extra edges, you might have a double die error. Look for die cracks or cuds ***. Any raised lines, blobs, or oddly formed rims might be signs of minting flaws. Off-center strikes ***. If Lincoln's face is not fully centered or part of the design appears missing, that's a huge red flag, in a good way. Coin grading and authentication ***. If you suspect you have something special, submit your coin to a professional grading service. Their certification will verify its authenticity and assign it a grade, which can significantly influence its value on the market. And here's the fun part, these rare 2006 pennies are still out there. It's not a coin from 1909 or 1943 that's mostly locked away in museums or vaults. It's from 2006, relatively recent. That means it could be in your wallet right now. It could be hiding in a piggy bank, under your car seat, or tossed inside your old jeans. There's real treasure waiting to be found. So why does a coin like this become worth so much? Because it's a perfect storm of rarity, mistake, history, and obsession. Coin collectors aren't just buying metal, they're buying stories, they're buying uniqueness, they're buying a piece of accidental art created by the US Mint, and when supply is this small, and demand is this high, prices go through the roof. Now, here's a thought to leave you with. The next time you see a penny on the ground, will you walk past it like most people? Or will you bend down, pick it up, and take a closer look? Because maybe, just maybe, it isn't just 1 cent, maybe it's $500,000. Thank you for joining us on this incredible journey into the world of the 2006 Lincoln penny. If you enjoyed this story, make sure to like this video, subscribe to Penny Vault for more coin secrets and million-dollar finds, and share this with someone who might just have a hidden fortune in their pocket. Until next time, keep hunting.